We talked about the dysfunction in Atlanta multiple times now. I don't need to say how I feel about it. That franchise is a mess. And Nate McMillan, of course, became the next one to bite the dust, as they say, after Travis Schlenk. And I'm pretty sure this organization is like nuclearly toxic. But the way that I know for sure is that when asked about Nate's firing, Trae Young said he was, quote, honestly surprised by it. The most amazing thing, I think, about that statement is that it's only 2 words and both words are lies. Like both words are lies. Like honestly surprised. You were neither of those things. Trae is not being honest. That negates the first word. And he was definitely not surprised because he definitely made that firing happen, either subliminally or very overtly, given the fact that Sham said that the Hawks were trying to get him to resign for multiple weeks before actually firing him. So definitely not surprised and definitely not honestly surprised. So the Hawks apparently were just interested in one candidate, Quin Snyder, who's a really, really good coach, but not a great fit in my opinion. I like him a lot, but this guy's got to have PTSD for Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. Like, has to. He probably aged him. Did you see what he looks like? Quin Snyder at the end of that thing looked like he needed cocaine just to stay awake. He looked like he needed all-nighters, rails on top of rails, bitches, money, parties, disco balls, just to continue doing his job. How is he going to do in Atlanta? How is he going to deal with a reboot with Trae Young? More cocaine. I don't know how that's going to work, dude. I do not know. He's got a 5-year deal now, with one of those years being now, which I think is funny. Like, the first year is 20 games. Get your money, guy, I guess. Money has not been disclosed yet. I can't wait to find out what that number is. I cannot imagine he wouldn't have benefited from waiting until the offseason. Better jobs would have come open, but they must have given him the bag. But now he's in Atlanta for the foreseeable future. And now he's also lying, trying to be optimistic because he's got his money too. He said this: I think players want to get better. I think they want to be coached. The relationships are what allows you to coach them effectively. How did it work when Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert didn't like each other? How did that work? How is it going to work when John Collins is still on this dog shit team and Trae Young won't pass him the ball? Do you not understand what Trae Young does? Trae Young just dribble, shoots from 30, floater, lob, maybe drive and kick. He does not have a reputation for being like a coachable player. He does not have a reputation of like Trae Young has constantly improved throughout the course of his NBA career. Trae Young is averaging the worst percentage from 3 in his life right now. He's actually regressing. So for Quin to be like, I think players want to get better inherently is a lie. In fact, only about 5% of players in the NBA want to actively get better and actively coach. The other ones want to coast. That's what they do. They want to enjoy their money, enjoy their life, be a human being, and hoop. That's what they want to do. What do you think Trae Young's going to do when you're like, hey, we're actually running things through DeJounte Murray now? No, I don't think it's going to be good. When you ask Trae, like, hey, how do you feel? We need to know if you're playing tonight. And he tells you, fuck off. I'm going to decide last minute. How are you going to deal with that? It's like, I'm going to let you know at game time. How will I know? I'll be there in my uniform. How will you not know? I won't be there on the bench at all, like he did to Nate McMillan. There is a decent chance this goes sideways. Like this, I'm saying it now, February 27th, 2023, this thing could go off the rails in 12 months. If there is any hope for a rapport between Quin Snyder and Trae Young, you can thank Donovan Mitchell for that. According to reports, Snyder and Trae Young are both expressing an enthusiasm to begin working together. Donovan Mitchell profusely praised Snyder in a private conversation with Trae Young and told him how instrumental the coach had been in his own development into an all-star. Also, quick little note, nobody asked Rudy Gobert his opinion. Rudy Gobert was not stumping for Quin Snyder. But if Trae is looking at Quin as someone to help him get in a new stratosphere, maybe that will work. But that will actually require some level of self-awareness, some level of intrigue and coachability, court awareness, just all kinds of things. Better shot selection, which is pretty much a tall task, which we've seen very little from Trae Young. All of this begs the question, which I'm sure someone will ask Quin Snyder sooner than later. Quin Snyder, who is harder to coach, Rudy Gobert or Trae Young? And I bet it's going to be Trae Young, because this Hawks team has a lot of talent, but is a long, long way from being a contender, even with a good coach, elite coach like Quin Snyder at the helm.